Hello, welcome to another video. It's a Friday, it's the beginning of May and it's a gorgeous day. I've been tuning in Ealing, got the afternoon off, so I thought I'd show you around Gunnersbury Park Museum. It's open, it's free to get in, and 25 years ago I used to work there as the museum technician. I'd help put up exhibitions, conserve objects and monitor the climate, and sometimes help behind the desk. So let's go in and have a look. Being very kindly escorted around.
This is the best kept secret in West London.
That wasn't there when I was working here.
Yeah, nicely.
This is where the...
Which means we have step-free access throughout the museum.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Cellar was down there, wasn't it?
That's the cellar down there.
Yeah.
Through that door.
Oh right.
Accessible, changing.
Oh yes, that used to be Phil Golby's office. He's the building manager when I was here. And this would have been my workshop, that door, and that one. That one,
That's
and that
the
one.
service kitchen.
Right. Yeah, that was like the room where I'd mount all the pictures and conserve objects.
That is the volunteers room.
All right, that used to be the house sitting room originally.
Yeah.
I see they've... oh yes, that was...
It's now part of the exhibition we've got on just now.
That's lovely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we used to keep things in there, object store.
Yeah.
I see they've covered up the original wallpaper. It used to be a piece of perspex over that. And me and Bill, the original technician, used to call it the map of Africa because it was a similar shape and it'd show the wallpaper.
But we kept the wiring for the bells.
Yeah. This is the education room.
Right, this is the servants' hall.
Oh right, was the servants' hall, yeah.
And it's now the toy and games room, and it's both the exhibition of toy and games room. We also encourage parents to bring their children in here to play.
Lovely.
So we've got sort of Lego. Do you know something? Did you know Lego breeds? Two pieces of Lego.
It does.
Later you've got 10.
And then it hides, and then parents tread on it and swear.
Yeah.
Well, mine did when I had Lego.
So they've got sort of Lego to play with, toys to play with, books to read.
It's lovely. Yeah. Remember, it used to be set up as a Victorian classroom.
The Victorian classroom is in the temple now.
Oh, right. Ah, here we are. Yes, I remember conserving some of the things in here. Mm-hmm. The heat fan-driven range.
It's with the smoke.
Yeah.
Now, they're disconnecting it all.
Yes, I remember we had it all out and cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Me and Phil, we both got extremely dirty.
I can imagine.
And I remember treating this with this thing to get rid of rust, the enzyme stuff. And we used to use Cure Rust on the black parts, and black lead or graphite.
Well, that's
graphite
what
and
they would
grease.
use to clean it.
That's what we used.
Yeah. And this is my favourite thing in the kitchen.
Oh, the original, the original range.
Hot.
And the copper pots.
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely.
The scarlet. So these were the two rooms that used to.
Yes, I remember.
But you could only get to them from outside.
From this way, yeah.
Come through the museum.
Yes, I remember it was blocked off. It was open at the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And the fake food, we used to order those from various places.
Oh, we got some very special fake food. And then these rooms weren't open to the public. So
No.
you've got the butchery.
They were when I was here at the weekends. Mm-hmm. But then I think we had a leak or something and they had to close them.
And how about this for fake food?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, turtle soup was a rich man's delicacy in the 19th century.
Supposed to mock turtle soup,
Yeah.
it was
But
chicken.
it also demonstrates, we know they served, the Rothschilds served turtle soup, which is some of the evidence we have for this not being a kosher kitchen.
Right.
You know, is that they were sort of making their way in society, and this is the compromise they made.
Yeah.
Not serving kosher food when they had guests.
Yes. Like they have the 3 sinks in the other room to get the meat, dairy, and.
It doesn't work. It's for it to be truly a kosher kitchen, you have to have complete separation of milk and meat. You need a meat kitchen and a milk kitchen.
As I discovered when I went to tune a piano in a synagogue
Yes.
for the rabbi,
Yeah.
they had saw the sign pointing to the meat kitchen, and the opposite side of the stairs was the milk kitchen.
And
This is the ice
box.
ice box, and the ice was brought in by barge.
Well, there's an
Apparently.
ice house behind the orangery.
Oh right, and
So they would have had
yeah.
I don't know how they had it delivered, but it would have
It'd
been
been
delivered
been shipped
like
in.
most big houses.
Yeah.
It would be stocked up at the end of winter, and that would see them through the summer.
Yes. Yes, I remember that. I remember showing people around, because sometimes I'd help out at weekends if they were short on attendance.
And then my view, the most important room, the pastry room.
Oh, yes.
Where all the good stuff was done.
Yes. I remember, if I may move that, I did that repair.
Oh, right.
Somebody lent on it, and so I got something called General Resin from Pisani in Brentford. You got 3 colours. You've got black, white, and honey, and you mix the two, and you can
It
match
sort of
up.
matches the marble quite well.
Yes, it does, and it's lasted. That was about.
Well, I must admit, until you pointed it out, I hadn't noticed.
You hadn't noticed. That shows I did a good job.
And the final thing is the chef's
The
office.
chef's room.
This has actually been shut for a long time.
Yes, I
because-
remember.
No, it's because somebody, about 18 months ago, somebody stole the lead off the roof.
Oh,
And we didn't know until we had a stormy weekend and there was water pouring down
I
the
can
walls.
see the evidence in the corner up here.
Took a long time to dry it out, and then we had to remediate a lot of mould. So this has only been reopened about 6 months.
Right.
And we also use this for Santa at Christmas.
Yeah. They had, when I was here, I think William Morris wallpaper on the wall.
This is imitation William Morris wallpaper.
Yeah, it's a slightly different pattern.
Yeah, because it looks three-dimensional, it isn't. It's
Yeah.
flat.
It's very nice. And I do remember it was carpeted when I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know whether it was original carpet. Yeah, so the rooms that was my workshop, which is the service kitchen, that would have been the housekeeper's room and the still room.
Well, no, it's the volunteers' room.
Is it?
It's the housekeeper's room.
Oh, right.
It's because you've got the front part, which would have been an office, and then the back part, which has a wonderful skylight,
Yeah.
which would have been her parlour, but also it's where the maids, when they weren't on duty in the parlour or the bedrooms, would be doing repair work to fabric. So
Yeah.
that's why you needed the light. I'll show you when we go past.
Oh, thank you. We used to have a clock on the wall up there. It was an imitation,
Yeah.
and we got it working. Don't know where they got it from.
So you wouldn't have had this opaque film on
No.
the window, and her desk would have been underneath the window. So
Right.
this would have been her office,
Okay.
which you can see we use as a storeroom.
Yeah.
And then this back room would have been her parlour, but it would also, because of the light, would have been ideal for sewing.
All right. So this was the housekeeper's room.
Housekeeper's parlour.
Yeah.
See, a very nice fireplace.
Yes, it's lovely. Yeah, that was all covered over when I was here. This was just used as a general dumping ground for tailors' dummies and
Yeah.
costume
Well, that's
stuff.
it. You begin to realise that we use the cellar for that now.
Yeah. Yes, I remember there's quite interesting things down there as well.
Oh,
I used to have to go down there each day or twice a week to monitor the climate.
Well, there's a lot of change because they did the water restoration between 2014 and 2019.
Yes, I remember that. We never used that end door into the dining room. That was always blocked off.
Well, we do even more work with schools than we used to.
Yeah.
So we need all the doors available so you can get the little buggers out quickly.
Yeah, this would lead up, because when I was here, we had tenants staying in the flats.
Yeah, well, the top floor is the fashion gallery and the industry gallery and offices.
Right.
And then we've got offices on the intermediate floors and that. So no tenants, just staff.
Yeah, because I remember there used to be some issues, like if one had left the bath running. I think that was an incident, and it almost ruined the E.T. Paris painting on the long gallery ceiling, because he was right above. He had a fountain and a bar in his flat.
Okay.
Well, thanks very much for showing me around. That was very kind of you.
Used to work here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. The old billiard room and the switch room. There used to be a desk along here.
Yes, yeah. And then we had the automaton in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a desk, because when the park workers used to come in here to collect their wages. And I remember when I was at junior school coming here for talks.
As I say, this is basically, we're not sure where it goes in here.
Yeah. And when Phil Philo, who's the curator, we'd stand at the desk and he'd show us things. Because before the kitchens were done up, they used to repair the lawnmowers in there. Well, thank you very much for showing me around.
You're welcome. I'll see you Tuesday.
Yes, you will. Tuesday. Thank you. Thanks for your help. Bye.
So this would have been the original boardroom. Became a costume gallery. They've taken away that there's to be a massive, great showcase where the picture of Henry VIII is, the archaeology. That was full of costumes. That's gone now. I think the base of it is still there, but they've taken away most of it. This is local studies. It's Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury, Venus Williams and Bruno Mars met up in a pub once. They didn't plan it. Celebrating the local people. Yes, originally in this room, the Rothschilds would have had their board meetings in here. This has been completely revamped. There used to be a showcase along here, and we had Mrs. Beaton's household management gallery devoted to Mrs. Beaton. There's the Stanhope Press, that used to be in the entrance hall. The Lucasade sign's up and running, that's nice. And we had a snakes and ladders board, big one that people used to be able to play snakes and ladders on it. And that door's blocked off. And so this is all about the estate. So over here, the original carriage gallery. This is the drawing room. The Rothschild carriages used to be kept in here, and I don't think it was really ideal for them because it get quite dry in here, so we had to have humidifiers, one each side of the fireplace. Looking out towards the park and the lawn, on one of these panes of glass there's a bullet hole. I don't know if it's still there or whether they've replaced the glass. We had panels on the walls, massive great MDF panels for displays. They've gone. I put those up in 1997. It's all been freshened up quite a lot. The long gallery. This is the E.T. Paris painting. We had a long display of zigzag showcases, which I put together. That's gone. Well, it looks like all the glass has been replaced because there's no sign of the bullet hole. It was in one of those windows, and this is the dining room. We had a mirror, very ornate mirror, above the fireplace. That seems to have gone as well. I remember me and Phil Golby putting that up. We were standing on the fireplace, on the pillars. It was quite a job getting that together. So there's more. I'll show you the rest upstairs. The upstairs area used to be closed off to the public. This was offices. Bill used to tell me the story of on his first day here. He forgot to put the barrier across, and some person came wandering up the stairs with a cigarette in his hand, and the curator came out of her office, which is the door to the right, and said, "You, man, you're smoking in my museum," and escorted him down and outside. So this is the Sound of Southall Gallery. It used to be the curator's office with all the musical instruments. I had my job interview in here. Tabla. All sorts of different music. Jigsaw concerto. Sit at the desk as to watch the curator come out of her office and walk to the main office. They've got rid of the 1960s chandelier with this rather nice looking neon thing. Yes, the 1960s chandelier was rather vulgar, to say the least. So this is the way to what was the main office, which looks like it still is the main office because it's not open to the public. They've replaced put in proper handrail in. I once made a handrail that went in there. It was a piece of batten fixed to the wall, brackets, and a long circular section piece of wood painted white. And that lasted years. So this used to be flat 10, and we used to store all our paperwork and documents and ephemera in here. As I said earlier, there were tenants living here above the museum. And all up here. This would have been flat 4, Cruise's old flat. We had a marble fountain and bar in there. He's a nice bloke, he's the park superintendent. And that was flat 9, which is now the curator's office. The curator moved into that office just as I was leaving here. So that's the inside of the museum. And I'll take you outside now to see the carriages. The colour schemes changed. When I was here, it used to be a burgundy colour. I suppose this colour's more in keeping. And the logo for the museum was based on the mouldings on the banister during my time here. Yeah, it looks a lot brighter in here than it did when I was here. Right, so back outside, I'll show you the courtyard. It's interesting, they thought when I was here, they thought my workshop was the still room and the housekeeper's office, and apparently they were wrong. This is the education entrance, the schools. That's the back way into what was my workshop. That's the former kitchen's entrance. They're getting a new cafe. The original cafe was further round, and they built a new one with the refurbishment, and it burnt down. They've just completed it, and it's due to open very soon. So there's no cups of tea and cake today, unfortunately. New cafe open. So they're nearly ready. Around the back of or the front of the mansion, as they call it. So the carriages are in storage, waiting for the completion of the cafe building, which burnt down a few years ago. The cafe is about to open, so here we are on the terrace at the front. All very smart. They've reinstated the horseshoe pond. That had gone a long time ago. Got an orangery at the bottom that's let out for functions. They've spent a lot of money on this since I left here. Next to the large mansion, the museum building, is the small mansion. And we used to use the terrace room in the small mansion for conferences and meetings. It's all been done up now. That area was boarded up before I started here, so it looks like it might be all opened up. It was in a bit of a sorry state, this building. There's to be a flat above. There's flats in here as well. The curator used to live in the end flat on this, on the end of the building. Would have been flat 13. And down here is Princess Amelia's bathhouse. This was extensively restored in 2002. Beautifully done. It's not open, unfortunately. There's a grotto with a plunge pool. One day it'll be open and I'll be able to show you inside. At the moment we can just admire the brickwork. Beautiful gardens. I think we've chosen the right day to come here. Flowers are out. It's nice and quiet here. So it's just a good place to chill out, really. Bring a picnic and enjoy yourselves.